morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1449th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni. Good evening, traders. This 1449th installment of these educational videos is coming at you on a Wednesday night for trading on Thursday. That would be March 24th, 2016. Before we get into what's on the board behind me, we must know that futures trading, and if you don't know, you should, is extremely risky, can cause substantial financial loss in your life, and is certainly not suitable for all traders, but it is a fun thing to do, and it can be profitable if handled correctly, if you place your stops at all times and place them first, and if you start off with a plan of action. You've got to have a plan. You got to plan the trade, then trade the plan. And that's what it is that we teach at the Omni Trading Academy here at livewithoscar.com. Let's get into it. All right, traders, there is no Omni on the board. There's no arrow on the board because if we're going to do anything this close to a major 3-day holiday weekend, and I mean major, for some religions, this is Easter. Mine would be included in that. For others, it's a religious holiday not called Easter, but this holiday happens to be a worldwide holiday. Big one. You get holiday reversals, you get markets that do things they shouldn't do, that do things you've never expected, and then they come right back to normal when the holiday is over. In fact, that phenomenon is called holiday reversals, and if you are a day trader, I'm sure you've seen a lot of that happen today. So there's a couple of things that we're going to talk about on the board, and one of them will be holiday reversals. Let's take a look at what is on the board now. Traders, let me just say, no matter what is going on day to day, quickly with your faster term trading, if you're a day trader or a scalper or a short-term trader, we happen to be short-term traders, more like swing traders of a daily range. We're not scalpers, but we're not in for the long term either. Always, though, no matter what your time frame is, always keep the larger formations in mind. And as you know, the large formation that we've been looking at lately is this big looming head and shoulders, which could be a very bearish indication when it's finally finished forming. The thing about the head and shoulders that's called an Oscarism, if you will, is that my brand of head and shoulders, once you get a shoulder built and then a head builds and then another shoulder builds, my brand of analysis calls for what I like to call a head test. The market will rally up and test the middle to the top of the head, and if that fails, down you go. The larger formation, and I kid you not, right now it has formed this, this, and this, and we are at the head test. I will show that to you during the chart segment. So just keep the larger formations in mind. It does not mean this formation has to pan out, but you've got to know it's there. You've got to have that in mind, even if you're short-term day trading. You've got to know where we could end up a few weeks from now if you're paying attention. So that we're going to speak about in this video. There's an Oscarism called the head test, and then there is the head test failure. What we've seen today in the markets as they dropped after the highs were made this morning on Wednesday, the markets traded up and dumped even the S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, and the DAX. You know, the tranny and the Dow did as well. The larger formation tells us that we are in the Oscarism of the head test, but then the head test failure, as I just mentioned, is that point where it does not get past the head and starts to head back down. So what happened today? Well, because we've got the holiday reversal phenomenon, was it a failure of the head test or was it a holiday reversal? How can I possibly know that? There is no way I can decipher during this week if what we've seen today is a failure of the head test or just simply the Oscarism known as the holiday reversal. Both are Oscarisms. I would know better than the rest of you, no matter what you're guessing at. And I am here to tell you, there's really no way without throwing some gambling at this to call it a head test failure today. I can't do that because it's a holiday reversal, or we're so close to a major holiday that you really don't know if what you're seeing in these markets is real or if it's going to be completely reversed and negated when the holiday is over, because that is what happens with the Oscarism known as holiday reversals. So the last thing here is best to wear your blinders this week. Is it a head test failure? Is it a holiday reversal? How about we just wear our blinders like we are supposed to do on the week leading into a major 3-day holiday weekend? Whatever happens during this week, my brand of analysis says blinders go on, we barely even acknowledge it, we come back on Monday or Tuesday and go right back to work the way it was before the holiday week. That's the way I'm going to plan it. So I'm going to say where we have been going is up. Omni's been buying it day after day, and if it doesn't buy, it's been trying to buy, but it's been doing pretty good on getting us long in the emini S&P, NASDAQ. We traded a couple Russells this week, didn't we? Yeah, so Russell as well this week. Why I like to wear my blinders is that what we see now, what we were seeing is the market going up, up, up. Suddenly, during the holiday week or holiday reversal, if you will, the market falls apart. I don't really buy that. I got to be honest, I don't really buy that. So, unless somehow the freakiness of the head test is a failure, when we get back from the holiday, if we continue down, then we'll look at it and say, wow, maybe during that holiday week we actually had a head test failure. So I guess I'm here to say, put your blinders on, forget the head test, forget the holiday reversal, forget all of it, forget what we see this week. Come back and bang them clean on Monday or Tuesday and see where the markets are going then. However, that's short-term trading. The longer-term trade is, do not forget where we stand right now. That has not gone away. It is a weekly formation. It's on the daily. It's on the weekly. It is there. I will not stop talking about it until we get up, above, and away from this formation, or it fails at the head test and we dump. But I will not abandon this formation because I always keep the larger formations in mind. Traders, come down to live.oscar.com. Meet me in my live trading room. It's free. With no further ado, let's go look at some charts. Okay, traders, the first chart this evening will be the Dow Jones Transportation Average, the weekly bar chart. We deem this the leader of U.S. indices, and if you don't think that that's the case, please go back and speak to Charles Dow 150 years ago and tell him he's wrong. Until you can prove him wrong, the leader in most cases of the U.S. indices happens to be the Dow Jones Transportation Average. With that in mind, you've never even gotten back to my OTAPMA, or the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary moving average. So, if you didn't even get past OTAPMA yet, you know, I don't know how much strength this thing has. That's the leader. It's almost never below OTAPMA, except for during the 2009 drop, 2008 to 2009. After that, we've basically stayed above OTAPMA all along. We are below it, and we haven't even got back up to it yet. So that's the picture from the leader. But let's look at some other charts with a little bit more defined pictures. This is your Russell 2000. I have shown you this chart many, many times. I gave this chart to you back in December 17th, 2015, and gave you a projection. We would go to 975, then 832. This is when I gave you that video. Then it went to 975. You can look back. I always do this stuff before it happens. Hit 975 and bounced up. So, we're bouncing up. Is this an F flag? Part of the head test? The head test would have to come all the way up here and fail. So it could move all the way up here, fail, and still be a massive head and shoulders with a head test and a failure. So you've seen this. This is the longer term picture. This is not new to you. You have all seen this many times. Omni Trading Academy's proprietary moving average gets bested. The market makes a small bear flag, dumps, hits our target, starts to move back up to what I call a head test. Nothing in here is long-term bullish at the moment. It's actually long-term bearish, short-term bullish. So let's keep the longer-term picture in mind. Yes, the market's been going up. Yes, Omni's been buying the dips. But the longer-term picture right now, keep it in mind, please. It's not all that rosy unless we can get up, up, and away. But let's keep looking. Here's your E-mini S&P on the weekly chart. Very long-term shot. 2009, we were below my OTAPMA, the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary. We got above barely even tapped it in 2010. Got under it for a little jiggle in 2011. Tapped it in 2012 and never looked back until 2015. You get back under the Omni and build a head and shoulders. So it is not the most bullish thing I've seen in my life. So I want to show you what's happening here. Remember, this is longer term. This is not for trading the next day. These are long-term charts. They are weekly charts. These formations take quite some time to pan out. But that is a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. And right now it is failing at the Omni average. But let's see. Maybe it'll get past it. So here is this chart. Same exact chart. I'm going to blow up for you now. This area I'm going to blow up. So this is that same chart with that area blown up. And look at where at the OTAPMA. Very interesting. But remember, we don't usually spend all that much time below it. And lately, it's been attracting the market like a magnet. So let's see what happens there. We could easily get above it, get past our head test, and explode. I would love to see that. But we'll take it one day at a time. Let's let the head test prove itself out before we decide what comes next. But you can see that we are hovering around the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary moving average, just about inside or to the top of the right shoulder. It's very iffy here. It could absolutely run away, but this is a formation that we must keep in mind. And unless and until we get out above the formation and keep on going, you cannot discount this. Please keep it in mind longer term. Let's move forward. Dow Jones Industrial Average long-term chart here. 2011, you're jiggling with the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary, and then you don't come near it again, or you barely come near it for years on end. Suddenly we get under it and build that head and shoulders with the head test traders. That is absolutely the head test I've been telling you about. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Out of the right shoulder, we are right to here, called the head test. You did see the market had a little bit of a downturn today, but again, it is a pre-holiday week, so we don't want to count that quite yet. But we did turn around today and come back down. Will it get past the head test? I don't know, but right now it seems to have hit that spot and had a down day on Wednesday. But this is the picture I wanted you to see. We are not out of the woods yet. There is no way I can take "do not fall in love with the upside" off my whiteboard yet until we at least get past this formation. So you've got this chart with this view, but this is the very same chart with a slightly different view. We've added a bit of resistance. One major resistance line from the all-time high that we've seen so far in the Dow Jones to the next highest high it connects to the high of today, if you will, exactly today. And that is a trend line, my friends. And we hit that trend line and had a back-off day. So you've got shoulder, head test, hits trend line resistance and starts to back off. Interesting picture. Just keep the longer term picture in mind. That's what this video is all about. It's not about the direction we are going to go in tomorrow. This is about reminding you to keep this picture in mind, and hopefully we get past it and keep on moving. But that head test sure has run into some resistance, as you can see in this picture. Next, you've got the NASDAQ. We move to a daily now. Out of the weekly, let's move up to a daily. Massive head and shoulders, it looks like, on the daily, doesn't it? That's big on the daily. And you are right here at the 200 bar moving average. But to give the daily some credit, that is a bull flag or an F flag. Okay, we got to like that for now. Short-term trading, day trading, you've had a little bit of an F flag building. But remember the longer-term picture here. That's what this video's theme is all about. Let's keep the long-term picture in mind. Unless we best the head and move on, you need to heed the warning that we're getting from that formation. But, albeit for short-term day trading, you've had a little bit of an F flag, and Omni has enjoyed buying through that F flag. Let's see where it's going to go. And then you've got this. Dow Jones Transportation Average on the daily bar. Once again, uplifting if you're a bull. These last few days have been fantastic. In fact, this whole run has been pretty good. But when we look at this run, we will notice that when we hit the top of the channel, we descend. We ascend to the top, we descend to the bottom, we ascend to the top, we descend to the bottom. We've just ascended to the top. We should descend at least to the bottom here, but that's a nice little bull flag if you ask me. I think that's a nice little bull flag. So for the bulls, short term, you've got some reasoning to want to be long. The way I like to look at things, you went up here, the next thing is down here, just like it's been doing. So let's see what happens there. But I wanted to show you these pictures, and I want you to keep the long-term view in mind. Now, this is the 200 ball moving average on the daily, and we did get above it in the form of a bull flag. I'm not going to deny that. So for you short-term traders, again, bravo. But we've got to keep that big, massive head and shoulders I keep showing you in mind, unless we somehow can get above it and move on. Traders, that's my presentation for you this evening. I hope you all meet me at livewithoscar.com. So traders, there it is. Always keep the larger picture or the longer term formations in mind. All right, traders, so that's what I wanted to show you. Remember, this is not really about short-term trading. This is about reminding you that it's extremely important to keep that formation in your mind until we can get past it, because that's the one that's currently haunting us. We've got lots of other formations that we follow. This is top day. Keep it in the back of your mind. Don't worry about it until it pans out. That's about it, traders. Omni Camp 2.0. It's almost done now. Oh my God, look at my face. Look at, I don't shave anymore. My hair's growing out. Trying to stay with these markets and fixing that Omni Camp, putting out all the fires that need to be put out. Woohoo, that's a job, I gotta tell you. But it's almost done, and I am going to be accepting applications to this Omni Camp. And at this Omni Camp, opposed to you guys staying all over the strip, you're going to be staying at the Omni Hotel, where we become a small fraternity. 4 days, we all stay together, learn the techniques, and huddle with one another so that when you leave, you never forget what you learn out here. That's called Omni Camp. The building's called Omni Camp 2.0. Coming at you. I am now accepting applications. If you would like to be part of Omni Camp, where you stay here on campgrounds for 4 days, give me a jingle or come on down to livewithoscar.com and fill out an Omni Camp application. I cannot wait to hold the first Omni Camp there. It's going to be exciting. All right. See you all at livewithoscar.com. Have a great holiday. I'm not doing anything else with these markets. Maybe a little bit of a scalp type trade on Thursday. And that's about it. Omni's going to take a break. I'm going to hang out with my children. I'm not fixing Omni Camp. I'm not looking at markets. I want to see my kids for a few days. It's been a while. Enjoy yourselves. Smell the roses. Kiss the kids. Leave these markets alone. Come back Monday or Tuesday. Really, Tuesday's better because Monday is Easter Monday in Europe. So you get past the holidays here in the U.S., but then you got Easter Monday in Europe, and it's going to be a close or slow session because Europe is closed. So maybe you'll just go away and come back on Tuesday, and then the markets will be here, and you can rock and roll at that point. I'll be around, but I'm going to try to do nothing. Enjoy yourselves. I'll see you after the holiday. And remember, not only do I want you to come to livewithoscar.com, but I want you to come and keep your emotions out of this thing. One of the best things I can do to help you with that is tell you to say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Rock and roll. Happy holidays. I'll see you all on Monday or Tuesday at livewithoscar.com. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.